Aerith's LD banner. Let me get started here. Aerith is an interesting character, at least a character release, because they released her on a banner, and it was with all the other weapons in the game as off banners, but the increase in rates was for all of Aerith's stuff, and then they got the Emperor burst on the banner as well. That's something to think about. But the actual character, she's getting an LD, obviously. It's a double HP attack with battery on the first part, AoE brave hits on the second one, and it has splash damage to other targets. You get 6 turns of a new buff, which is Seal Evil. The party becomes debuff immune outside of guaranteed debuffs, obviously. And you get a debuff aura. It's 20% attack and speed down, which is already nice. I love me some speed down. And defense down for 60%, which is huge. She's also getting a follow-up after she attacks a target, and this is actually attacking a target, not one of her skills. So Brave plus, HP plus, EX. And it reduces the enemy Brave X death style based on her attack and batteries the party for the same value, and it does HP damage with whatever's left, and it doesn't deplete the Brave as well, kind of like a Penelope's EX sort of. It gives her a great safety net after she does her attacks. Everything's safe because she has a hard time getting broken because of the Brave gain. The follow-up also extends her own buff, so she doesn't need to refresh via skills. So her skill 1 and skill 2 are kind of niche usefulness now. You don't really want to press those buttons unless you really need to. The follow-up also does a debuff. It's called Planet's Punishment, and it does HP damage up plus 10%. The boss cannot buff itself, which is great versus Ramuh, Divine Ramuh, and on its recast, and Ealdnarche's Lost Chapter, where she conveniently it features a synergy. Wow, what a thunk. On top of all that, her limit breaks give her plus 30 to attack and Brave as an aura to the party, which makes her auras competitive again. Woo! I think it bumps her attack up to 90. Yeah, that sounds right. She has the support high armor, which is pretty whack since she does a lot of battery. Would have loved to have be able to abuse Paladin Cecil's RF Spear, but sadly she just gets a plus 5 to attack and then HP cap up for everyone in the party, which I think is a little bit more reasonable for her because she batteries so much, and because she has HP damage up, people have an easier time hitting the cap. Her call ability is actually extremely powerful in the right situations. It's a plus 80 attack up alongside a plus 40% magic attack up, and you get Brave regen on top of that. So like, it's really good on X Death. Her LD call is no effect, it's just an attack, and it does not follow up, nor does it apply the debuff from her follow-up. What do I think? Well, Aerith is fantastic. I think she's getting a little undervalued right now because her power on paper doesn't sound too great, but those aura debuffs alongside her additional damage make her super valuable in the team. Defense down 60% is huge. That's nearing like vanilla levels, alright? It's an insane amount of extra utility. It only takes a 1 debuff slot. She's got now debuff evasion, enemy buff prevention, gain install and overflow, burst heal, battery, HP damage up, competitive auras, and debuff auras on top of that. That's a loaded kit, and she fits so well to pretty much any team. She doesn't really care about magic resist or anything like that. She's not elemental. She can fit pretty much anywhere. She just provides insane value. It's kind of sad that you gotta ignore her skills, but then again, those are usually emergency buttons. They didn't really need to make them free because if you play Aerith and once she has her LD, you kind of realize, and I had this take in the beginning, she felt clunky. But once I ignored her skills pretty much and only pressed them when I needed like a burst heal, and her skill 2 is trash, so you ignore that generally anyways. You don't need to refresh it now that she has LD. I'm a big fan personally. Am I pulling? Of course. Final Fantasy VII is love. Final Fantasy VII is life. My favorite game. I got a ton of use out of Aerith and JP. Those auras are god tier. Defense down 60%, just being there, along with the other goodies, is just amazing. I love using Aerith. I love using Aerith. She fits so well in pretty much any team. I love me some gained overflow auras. Speed down and attack down too. She's going to be a good pair with Vincent just because of that 1 frame debuff. And she won't be letting bosses buff themselves, so Vincent won't get his stuff pushed off. And then the debuff stacking with those two should be incredible. Oh my god, I love it. She's a godsend for Ramuh if you're having trouble with the recast, as she just doesn't let him buff. She can fit pretty much anywhere, and I think she's a solid grab for anyone. She's also, again, on a weird banner, which could be potentially beneficial if you're trying to collect other stuff, but I don't think the G tokens on that banner can get you any weapon, so that's something to be aware of. And there's no fight tied to Aerith, like I said. There was no fight or event for her in JP. So maybe Global will pull some unique content out there, but there's no telling. I don't even know when the banner is going to be, but I'm just putting this out there just so I can talk about it. Running her back in Divine Ramuh for the farm and the Lufenia should make it a ton easier. And yeah, I think it's a humongous mistake to skip her and grab her on the Tidus banner. 1, because it's not guaranteed you'll get them both. You could easily go to 300 G tokens and not get either LD. But 2, Aerith is kind of falling out of favor by that point. That's like, what, like 4 months down the road? We have way stronger aura bots and supports and damage and all that. So Aerith has limited utility then. I mean, if you really want to get the best use out of her, this is her time to shine. So get her now. All right. Thanks for coming through and watching, y'all. Really appreciate it. Be sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I know half of y'all ain't, so it really helped me out. Additionally, let me know who you're gonna run on this fight. Go ahead and drop a comment with that and whether you're planning to deploy or not. All right, catch you later. Peace.